Almost every character in Satya had a reference point in real life, not necessarily all the time from the underworld. Sometimes it is also from real world. I mean other world. But because of that, I was trying to imitate a character I know through the character, so they look so real because of that. Yeah.
So you made this one-liner where there is a politician and there is a nexus between the mafia and the politicians. So how did you translate that into a full-blown script? How did you end up meeting Saurabh Shukla, Vishal Bhardwaj, and how did you
I mean,
improvise?
that is a kind of a part of the thing. See, Saurabh Shukla, I saw him in Israt Ki Subhane. Each of the actors had some kind of a. Manoj Bajpayee was got to me at that time, actually, by some assistant director. And yeah, that is not something unusual about it, in the context of that. And but like I said, the to reference them very closely to existing characters gave me a lot of clarity, because a lot of people don't realize. See, the story moved by characters is different from characters going by the story, because when the way the people react is what which makes the counter reaction and the situation changes. So I was very fluid. I didn't want to fix up this is exactly what the film is.
So you never had bound script?
No. We didn't have a bound one line order also.
Oh, okay. So, so what was the input given to Anurag Kashyap and Saurabh Shukla to write the dialogues?
See, Anurag, all of them have just come at that time.
Right,
They're
he
all
was just
very
24.
enthusiastic
Yeah.
and everything. And I think it was like, I had years of experience even before that, because I was already maybe 7-8 years as a
Right.
director. So I think, mostly it was in talking, improvising, throwing ideas and things like that. Yes, I said initially that I want to make a dark underworld film, to whatever I just now said. But the interpretations of it was very different. And sometimes I kind of discard something, but something he said attracts my attention. So it kept on building up like that. Yeah.
So, given the admiration you had for Vijay Tendulkar for Ardha Satya, you wanted him as the dialogue writer, and you approached him, and then he referred you to Saurabh Shukla.
No, that's not true. Anurag got in Saurabh Shukla.
Okay.
And Vijay Tendulkar, that was very strange meeting I had. When I asked him, because of he wrote Kaliyu and all that, he said he'll develop something. And when I went back to him, he said in Bombay a meeting of dons happens. That is the first scene he's told me. I was zapped. I didn't expect a man like Vijay Tendulkar to come up with a line like that. But later I realized maybe because he so much met mainstream film directors, and probably he thought that is how they would like to, how Bollywood used to make the so-called gangster films. Yeah. So that meeting itself, I was kind of I thought we are not on the same plane, and he is too, respected a man because of his theater and all that. So I thought it won't work out with him. Yeah. So I thought I'd rather take someone young and someone who's inexperienced, who will be more fresh.
So, in a typical day of shooting, how do you improvise the shot, and what is expected from the shoot for that day? So, how do you collaborate with folks like Anurag Kashyap?
It's like, for example, when the whole tone of how I was, see, in my mind, it was more like a Shiva, actually, when I started Satya, And I had this scene when this character, he slashes a razor across Satya's, That was a cutting point for me, in my mind, when I wrote the scene and I was shooting the scene. But when he did that, I didn't say cut. I just delayed to say cut. And Sushant, being an actor, he suddenly took a cue and he screamed out loud, which I didn't expect. So it startled me. And because I didn't say cut yet, that Manoj Pava, he started improvising, "Arey, pani lo," and all that. Now, that's a very new kind of actors. I never worked with some people like that in Telugu industry. Telugu industry, typically, they will only do till whatever they're told. So because they're all highly experienced stage actors who kind of live in improvisation. So then a thought occurred to me, Satya should be about what happens before the scene and after the scene, not about what's happening inside the scene. So suddenly, if I cut it there, it is there. But now if I don't cut it there, suddenly it will look even more real because of Manoj Pava saying the line, pani lao, and all that, So most of the time, I gave that thing to see what the actors will do after that. beyond the script. Yeah.
That's the reason why Satya is like a masterclass in filmmaking. If you actually look at every frame, it's like a short film. There is so much of intense cinematography and method acting, a lot of contributions that go into each of the scene. So now coming to casting, you worked with Sanjay Dutt from Bollywood, just before Satya. So what made you choose someone like J.D. Chakravarti, who was established in Telugu but not so much known in the...
See, I mean, I never took him as an established guy. I just felt, because I know him as an actor down here, I thought he will suit the role. And but from the beginning, I always was insisting that most of the characters have to be new people. You should not recognize them. Then the characters look believable if they are not recognized. To the exception of Urmila and Govind Namdev to an extent, and Paresh Rawal, everybody else is new. Yeah.
When you first met Manoj Bajpayee, even before Satya, maybe he did a very short role in Daud, almost in like a long shot, batch shot. So did you actually spot the talent within Manoj Bajpayee?
Not in Daud. I spotted him in Bandit Queen.
Okay.
Bandit Queen also had a very small role, but very impactful. That is when I actually spotted him. So when he came to meet me for Daud, I was very reluctant. I said, this is a very spoofy kind of film. I don't think an actor like you. But he said, Ram, I'll do anything. I want work. So I put him as a goon in Paresh Rawal's gang. But the impression on him as an actor was from Bandit Queen. Yeah.
So did you know that he would one day become like a superstar and enjoy the stardom?
See, we thought about it in Satya. Not in Bandit Queen, not ever shooting Daud. In the making of Satya, not even when I casted him for Satya. But when we were starting shooting within the scenes, there was this whispering in the unit. Like everybody was talking about him, because it was like so unusual to see that kind of an intensity. Yeah.
Right. And how about Shefali Shah? She was very new and she comes from stage background as well.
Yeah. See, Shefali, actually, I worked with her in one scene in Rangila. She played a tantrum-oriented heroine. It was hardly one scene, which no one really noticed that much. And I could see that she's a wonderful actor. Yeah, on that memory, I casted her.
And Sushant Singh, again, he was very new, but he brought a lot of intensity. Though he had a short role, he played a very pivotal character in the overall movie. So how did you end up getting
Sushant Singh basically was recommended by Anurag. Yeah, I didn't know him as an actor. So for that particular role, he actually, Anurag called him.
And same with Govind Namdev as Bhau, and he has...
Govind Namdev, again, I picked him up from Bandit Queen. I really loved him in that film. Yeah.
And Makarand Deshpande as lawyer, he was fantastic.
See, Makarand I knew because right from the film Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak, I was following him.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of really liked his body language and things like that. So I know him. I mean, I kept meeting him often, and that's how it happened. Yeah.
I think he was just perfect for that lawyer role. Yeah. You don't even assume what's up with him, what he's going to do next.
Yeah, basically, he said before Satya, most of the time lawyers were cast as very clean shaven, very well combed, very dressed up and educated looking. So to see a guy with a beard and dirty and all that, the people, I still remember the reactions in the theaters. The moment Makarand came, everybody used to laugh. They were like in surprise, not about it, not anything else. Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, a mafia hiring a full-time lawyer as one of their team members is very new. And second, the whole appearance and the attire of a typical lawyer was very unlike and unusual.
Yeah.
How about Aditya Srivatsa, who played the Inspector Kandlikar?
He's again from Bandit Queen.
Wow. Yeah.
He played the husband of Full and Baby in that. Yeah.
So that's the impact of Bandit Queen on Satya.
Yes.
A lot of casting has been inherited.
Yeah.
Excellent. So now I want to talk about certain impactful scenes, that are still talked about, that actually made Satya what it is. JD slashing Sushant Singh. For those who forgot that scene, or if you haven't watched, it's on YouTube by Before You. Go search and watch Satya.